T.B.Photo X1.5 TFX, and welcome back to another video. Well, this is also gonna be a little bit of a whole video, but first things first, I think I need to address the elephant in the room, which is basically the room itself. If you look at the wall behind me, long-time viewers might see that something is amiss. That is because this room has recently, or rather this last week, been overhauled a little bit. So you can see that we have this new color here on the list, and this baby blue or this bluish gray color on the upper part of the walls. But that's a little bit just so you know if something seems off, that's what it is. But anyway, let's continue. I can't really... Yeah, anyway, well, this is gonna be a little bit of a haul, this video, and it's a little bit impromptu. As you know, you guys, I usually use this cheap little color pad in the beginning of my videos to just color check everything, because I'm using different types of light sources in this. I'm usually wearing a white or black t-shirt, and this one I usually calibrate when I do the videos in the, you know, after I'm done with the videos, I calibrate them with this to get a proper white balance. But actually, I think I'm gonna go a little bit more pro, even though the camera also records the audio. I've gotten one of these clapping boards. I mean, this is just something that you get it from on eBay for cheap from China. But I think anyway, it's a little bit of a novelty item that can be a little bit fun to have in video production. But anyway, so yeah, then I have two different versions. But well, first off, I managed to go on Tradera, Swedish version of eBay, national version, and there was this guy selling off a ton of photography equipment. So I was browsing around and saw if I could get a good deal on something, and I actually think I managed to do something, because he was selling two camera stands for basically very little, very much less than what one of them cost, because I looked up what the new price was, and it turned out I got a bit of a deal on it. So $50, about 500 Swedish. I managed to get, first of all, this one, which is a Manfrotto, Manfrotto tripod. Let's see if I can find the model number. Okay, upside down. Let's see here. It's the Manfrotto Compact Action, made in China. Okay, but anyway, has this, little ballpoint head, and Manfrotto's little contemporary, quick detach system. So I was very lucky to get this. So now I have a real, name brand tripod. Let's see if, yeah, something like that maybe. So a real name brand tripod. I mean, usually I'm going for tripods that are, flea market bargains, $10, $15, 150 Swedish. But anyway, this one I managed to get then, together with another one. This one, the Manfrotto 680B, made in Italy. This ball head here, I managed to screw on. This I had lying about. I didn't have any use for it, but now I have a monopod Manfrotto with a ball head on it, so I can do vertical shots with it. And yeah, I think it has two spirit levels on it as well. And this one also has a quick detach quick detach plate as well. So I think I managed to make this a little bit more multi-use instead. So there we go. Normally this Manfrotto doesn't have a quick detach on it, so this monopod, really great little investment, and I got both of these for $50, so something like that maybe. And it's it turns out that this community on YouTube with photography, it turns out that you would never, I was really blown away, because now I got two birds, two things here, which has a little bit of a story behind it. First of all, you might have seen one of my older videos for this point about this camera, the Zenit TTL, which I called the Lomographer's system camera. the Zenit TTL. I managed to get this on a flea market. It was basically nothing at all, and only has a couple of speeds on it. It's made of metal. You can basically hurt someone with this, club someone with this. But anyway, it now has a 50mm Industar lens on it, M42. But a local photographer, Marcus, thank you very much for liking. A local photographer named Marcus actually saw this video of mine, and it turns out he's local, and he asked me, do you want one of those cameras? And I said, sure, why not? What do you want for it? No, I'm just, well, give it to you, because he had actually gone to the same flea market, believe it or not, and he had gotten another Zenit camera because it had one of those very cool, what are they? Are they Industar or something? Or rather a 58mm, that Russian 58mm M42 lens, f2. And it came on this camera actually, so thank you again, Marcus. Thank you so much for giving me this camera actually. I know this is a piece of plastic, it's a little bit of, it's basically the similar camera, the Zenit TTL, and this is the Zenit 122, and it has the same shutter speeds. It also has a flash sync of 1/30th of a second. It also has a flash socket up top. It has the PC port. Contrary, this one has this lever and a little button to activate the timer mode. Blanked out there. But anyway, this has a dial on the side that you wind actually, and then you have a button on top here. But anyway, I think this is a cool little camera, so Marcus, thanks a million, buddy. Thank you once again. So yeah, a Zenit 122. So yeah, with a Zenit strap. Nonetheless. So this would be a little bit of a cool, I mean, you have the guys who go for Dianas and Holgas and so on, but give this one a try. If you like a plastic camera, this, you won't get much more plastic than this, but it's still a little bit, because it's the M42. I have a couple of M42 cameras now. I've had some others that I've basically sold off because I didn't use them, didn't like them, they didn't agree with me. But really, once again, thank you very much for giving me this camera, Marcus. So yeah, moving right along. I was on eBay because I thought I would, for next summer, now it's autumn, and yeah, I might need a shave and a haircut, but because it's November, I think I might be, I'm thinking about maybe growing a Movember, so maybe I should keep this for a while, but anyway, maybe I can look like Bob from Bob's Burgers, but I don't have male pattern baldness yet, tweet, tweet, tweet. Yeah, touch wood, but anyway, I thought about making a little bit of a new kit for my Mamiya 645 Pro. So I already have the 80mm. I have the the wide, the zoom lens. It's 70 to 210. But then I found this on eBay. It's the Mamiya C-Core 55 to 110. So now I basically have both the zoom lenses that were available for the 645 system, at least the manual focus one. And this one is the N version. I don't believe they made a ULD version of this lens actually, frankly, but it's really great actually. It also came with the hood, full metal, screws right on. It's what is it? It is a, it doesn't say on the lens itself, curiously enough. So yeah, 67mm filter thread. This is a knockoff Nikon lens cap, because the Mamiya originals, they cost a ridiculous amount for what they are. I can agree with the back plate covers, those are worth the investment, but the front ones, they're a little bit too expensive in my opinion. So just a Chinese knockoff front lens cap, no one cares. Anyway, this one, I've used it. I used it actually when I went out and tested out Mr. J, which is going to be a video in the future about that when I develop those rolls. But anyway, another YouTuber that actually reached out to me for a little bit of a project, but also said that he, if you know that Spaniard Nico, who has a Nico's photography show. I think he has he goes live every Wednesday evening at 9 o'clock in the evening. But anyway, actually a guy I met through that, or semi through that, was Analog Adventure, Svein from Analog Adventure. He's a Norwegian guy, a very cool guy who said that he was selling off some of his Mamiya 645 gear. And I said, well, what do you have? It might be interesting. Well, he showed me what he had, and I said, well, I'll have the backs basically, because you can't have too many backs, and you want maybe one with color and one with black and white. So I actually got something that I think is a little bit cool actually. I'm in the middle of trying this out, so I have film in it, but it is the Mamiya 645 35mm film back. So I am testing this out currently with some Fujifilm Superior 200 ISO 24 exposure film, and I'm currently on the 5th exposure according to the dial. But the difference is that this one doesn't take 120, it takes 35mm film. So it cranks normally, but instead of, you guys who have seen Mamiya spools, like this, they usually go from, I think it's from the top to the bottom, but this one goes left to right because it's 35mm. And when you're done with this one, you don't open the back side of it. You press this little button down here, and then you use this little crank here in order to rewind the film, just like this camera and most manual film 35 cameras. So that's a little bit of a cool little gizmo to have. Let's see if yeah, there it says it. So yeah, Svein, thanks very much, buddy, for letting me have it, and thanks for the nice price. So yeah, this is a little bit of the gear haul that I have accumulated since last time we saw each other. Let's do something like, yeah, there we go. But anyway, yeah, so that's basically it. A little bit of two nice tripods. This one I actually used the other day. The weather was, I mean, now we are in the midst of, as I said, November, which means it's autumn, so it's autumn weather. The sun is basically up and it goes down straight again, so yeah, we don't have much daylight nowadays, and basically I went out and I tried this tripod out with the Nikon D7200. The drawback with this tripod is that it doesn't take that much weight. I mean, the Velbons that I usually use that are made of purely made of metal, I can put the Mamiya RB67 with fully kitted out, and I don't have to be cautious that I'm overloading the tripod because it is sturdy like a brick outhouse. But this one, on the other hand, I think it has a maximum limit of 1.5 kilograms of weight that you can maximally have on it. So that's a little bit of a drawback, but the positive is that I have a tripod now with a quick detach mount on it, excuse me. So if I'm just going out with something like the Zenit or any other of my Nikon 35mm or any other 35mm camera, or the D7200 that I used in this case, I think this tripod, it's light, it's easy, it's compact. If I'm gonna use something a little bit more hefty, I might use the monopod, thanks to the quick detach mount on it. my little, you know, DIY facelift on it. But anyway, that's basically it. So anyway, well, this is Tobias Bergstrom from T.B.Photo X1.5 to FX, and I'd like to see you guys in the next video. And as always, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And yeah, that's basically it. So take care from now on, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.